Let's return to our breaking news now, where China has announced 84% tariffs on American goods coming into China. Our East Asia correspondent Kathleen Calderwood joins us now for more on this story. Kathleen, hello there. Now, what is the latest you've heard of these tariffs that have been announced by China?
Well, Garish, we've been waiting to see if there would be any more action by Beijing all day, really. Of course, the American tariffs came into effect today. In total, 84% on Chinese goods, which brings the entire amount of tariffs that Donald Trump has brought in since his inauguration up to 104% on Chinese goods. So Beijing certainly signalling yesterday and again today that they would be standing strong. Mr. Trump had added this extra 50% in retaliation to Beijing's announcement on the weekend that it would be adding 34% tariffs of its own onto American goods coming into China starting tomorrow. He added this 50%, said that if China didn't reverse that decision, he would be going ahead with what ended up being 84% in total. Now we've just had this breaking news from delivered through Chinese state media that China will again be matching that figure that the US has put on its goods. So now 84% tariffs on American goods going into China starting tomorrow.
Kathleen, no one seems to have seen this coming, at least as of yesterday and earlier today. So how much of a surprise was this for everyone?
Look, I think it is something of a surprise, but certainly Beijing did seem to have started to make this sort of turn towards putting a really strong posture towards the American approach as of the weekend. We had seen some measured responses in regards to Donald Trump's earlier tariff announcement. So the original 2 rounds of 10% tariffs a few weeks ago. We'd seen, some specific targeted tariffs and measures against certain American products, agricultural products, things like that, really, which seemed quite political, quite calculated, really trying to get to Donald Trump and the Republican Party's rural base. But now it does seem like Beijing has just decided that they're going to meet Donald Trump's strong posture with its own. It does, I think people will be a little bit surprised that it has once again upped the ante after Donald Trump reacted so angrily. There were reports that members of the top Chinese leadership might meet today to discuss their response to Donald Trump's and his administration's behaviour. So perhaps this is an outcome of that. But, perhaps they were also buoyed somehow, despite all the turmoil on the stock markets. The Shanghai index and the Hang Seng index in Hong Kong managed to finish just a little bit up at the end of the day. So perhaps they were buoyed by the strength of the Chinese markets, even after a tumultuous few days, compared to some of the Asian markets and even the Australian market.
Okay, East Asia correspondent Kathleen Calderwood, thank you very much for that update.